Hey there, everybody. How's it going? I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic time. My name is Nightshade from IvD Gaming, and very, very happy to have you on board and joining us here on YouTube. So, thanks for joining us. To you, you have my love. Nonetheless, we are watching StarCraft, where probably love is the last thing on these two players' minds. To be perfectly frank, they would like to destroy each other. And up in the top right-hand corner, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that is loud. I'm going to have to turn down my headset. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, up in the top right-hand corner is Kellerman. And his opponent down in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, none other than IvD's own. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Ruff. So it is a TVP matchup. I'm sure you guys can ascertain as much, judging by the wonderful little bit of a taskbar down at the bottom of the screen. And just as a quick aside, Kellerman is from No Dice Gaming, if you guys are ever heard of them. No Dice Gaming clan. Smaller clan. He's actually third best player on their team as far as points go. So we should expect to see a very, very good game. Of course, Ruff is a top tier Grandmaster level Terran. And yeah, it's gonna be freaking good. Let's just put it this way. Barracks has gone down, gas right behind it. We'd expect Reapers out of Ruff. That's pretty standard for him. Gateways are, of course, gone down. We've got a gas being taken here. A pylon also up in the behind the mineral line. I like the placement of that. This allows for the, to be able to hide your tech behind the lines. More importantly, it also keeps a level of your supply buried. So it's very hard to get at that and kill it easily. And any tech you bury off of that, again, is going to be really, is very easily defendable. A lot of players, actually, I'm noticing on the ladder, actually opting to put a lot of their structures back here, so cybernetics cores, gateways, all that kind of stuff. So it leaves the nexus a bit exposed, but more importantly, it does keep those structures a little bit more defensive. Now cybernetics core is going to go down up front, and assimilator, 3 workers on gas. So it looks like that Kellerman is looking to either do a 4-gate, possibly a 3-gate robe or something, or he's just going to straight up expand. Now the Zealot first kind of gives me an indicator that he's not going to go cheese. What he's looking for is well, he should have scouted first, is perhaps, no, it looks like he's just going to hold it at the top of the ramp. I figured he'd go down and see if there's an eBay to block. But against Ruff, well, Ruff doesn't really do that kind of shenanigans. I think I've watched him enough time. Probe is going to do some scouting, is going to ascertain what Ruff is up to. And that scouting information is pretty thorough. It didn't catch the gas timings on either of them, but it did get the 2 barracks, which is a pretty damn good indicator that shenanigans are certainly about to ensue, as we do have 2 Reapers on the way on out. So we'll keep an eye peeled on that in just a second here. On the other side, of course, the Probe desperately wanting to keep an eye peeled on Ruff, and pretty smart idea, but looks like he's going to hide on down here, maybe drop a pylon out in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. We'll see. Yep, there it goes. And Zealot is already on the way. Stalker is going to back that puppy up. Do we have a mothership core in production? No, not quite yet. It is going to be a 4-gate. Certified grade A, old school, Wings of Liberty, ladies and gentlemen, including the chrono boosting. This is almost a Korean 4-gate, actually, because all that chrono has been saved on actually just cranking out nothing but units. Reapers are headed away across the map here, so it's cheese versus, well, I don't even call it cheese, it's aggressiveness versus aggressiveness. Early game strats versus early game strats, ladies and gentlemen. Stalkers can hold up reasonably well to these, and Reapers are going to be microed really well. Ruff's one of Ruff's fortes is, of course, high levels of micro, and his control is very, very good, second to none. Like I said, there's that pylon ready to drop. There's another one. There's a warp and cycle stalkers exclusively. It's going to have to push on up. Now, this is going to be very difficult here for Kellerman because he has to do battle on 2 fronts, but Ruff in a lot of trouble as well, as the Marines are now running for their lives, and workers having been pulled off the lines here and going to have to engage into the stalkers. Unfortunately, SCVs are going to die, so does the Zealot up front and personal, and they are going to flee all the way back towards their mineral line. And you can see that Kellerman is going to warp in a couple more Zealots here to try and help deal with this. Of course, SCVs are going to surround. One of the stalkers does fall, 4 still remaining. Reapers here, on the other hand, are going to have to contend with the fact that there is a stalker up on the high ground here as well, defending here. So Kellerman looking like he's in a very commanding position. Ruff is only down to 5 workers. I do not know how he's going to come back from this. He has 6 Marines at the top of this ramp here, and there is a very potent, very strong, very aggressive 4-gate here. And the Marines are quickly dying here. And it is not looking good at all, as Kellerman is in just a mind-numbingly good position in which to be in. And Reapers here are, well, there's Reapers up the base. They're trying to get some work done here. And I think Ruff realizes that this is his one last chance to make magic miracles happen. And it looks like he's going to be able to pop the Stalker. If he can do that, he can start working away directly onto the mineral lines. But another Stalker has warped on in here. Reapers are reinforcing. Command Center has lifted and floating away. Barracks are going to do the same. There's no chance for production. Ruff does have enough economy that he can make a couple more SCVs if he can get a safe place with which to put that Command Center here. But you can see the micro actually really starting to be employed here by Ruff as he's trying to engage into these Stalkers here. Wants to engage them in a favorable manner, as you can see, again, microing these Reapers, trying to keep them alive as much as he can. And again, staying right on top of this game here. But all the probes are checking on out, and Kellerman is getting down to the last of his dollars here. He has 200 minerals in his bank. That's it. No probes to speak of for either player. It's Reaper on Stalker action. Now, Reapers are faster, so technically Ruff should actually be ahead in this particular regard. But you can see the Stalkers are trying to take care of the Reapers that are injured. Another Stalker does ultimately fall. It is now Kite Fest 2000 as Ruff is going to continue on here. And these Zelts will never engage these ever, I should say. And by ever, I mean never. Now, there is a probe, 2 probes actually misrallied just outside the mineral lines here, just so that they don't get sniped here by Ruff's Reapers here. But the Reapers looking pretty darn good. SCV production has resumed, as well as dropping of mules, the most OP unit in the game. Absolutely without down, and hands down, bar none. I was trying to put both of those together, if you guys are wondering. And Reapers now having to contend with the fact that there's 3 Stalkers. This is going to be a little bit trickier here for Ruff. And it's pretty smart of him to just back on out. He needs to have a really good position where he can actually use a large open area like this to be able to kite. To do so over here is very hard because to jump in and out takes time. You can actually lose units doing that. So good play all in all by him. Of course, Ruff is going to sit down here on the low ground with these Reapers, let the combat trucks kick on in before he jumps up into the high ground here. And what we do have, of course, is some Stalkers guarding the probes. These very, very precious probes, but they are getting cranked out, and Kellerman looking like he's trying to get back onto this game. Likewise with Ruff, though. Ruff's worker count is now up to 4, and with the mules combined, he's actually just cranking in a whole pile of economy here. One of the Stalkers is getting caught out here and does get sniped, and immediately you can see Ruff is doing everything he can to try and keep on top of this. Now he is going to micro the units that he does have, and that will do it. That was arguably one of the best comebacks I've seen in quite some time. And we do take a look over on the left-hand side of the screen. We do see that the barracks have been dropped down, and business is going down as usual for Ruff. And just a great play all in all. Mass Reaper is certainly a good option against Protoss in the early game. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Check us out as well as our sponsors, IvDgaming.com as well as IvDgaming.tv.